Welcome back to my YouTube channel, my beautiful darlings. I'm Kim and I am so happy to have you here today. Here's a preview of what we're going to be doing in today's video. This will be part 2 of the summer decor where we're going to be finishing up the area right off the kitchen and the main living area. Also today I'll be styling my gold shelves and I'll be giving you 10 designer tips for styling shelves and sharing a grand tour of all the areas. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and hit that like button. Let's get into it. Okay, my darling, so you already know the first thing we're going to do is get it clean before we do anything else. So before we do get too far into the video, guys, I want to go ahead and apologize in advance. There will be some lighting issues where maybe, there's some times where everything gets really bright and then it adjusts. Like I said on my last video, I got a new camera. I'm still trying to figure that out. So I didn't realize it was doing this until I went to edit the video. So I think I've gotten it figured out and it should not be an issue on the next video, but I just appreciate your patience, guys. So moving on. So the first thing I want to do when I start styling my shelves is start at the top to kind of set the tone for the overall look and then start my way down. So that's what I'm doing now. Everything that I have here, I've pretty much had in my collection over the years. I've gotten most of it from Hobby Lobby or Home Goods. Those big candle holders I was just holding, that was a thrift find. So I found those at like a garage sale and repainted them. But the arches at the top, I actually got those from the dollar store. So y'all don't sleep on the dollar store. They have some good stuff sometimes. So I got those from the dollar store, but everything else I pretty much already had in my collection. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to give you the top 10 designer tips for decorating bookshelves. And I can tell you, I probably don't use all 10 of these, exactly the way that they are saying, but for the most part, I do use these 10 tips. So and that is one of my favorite things to do, is to style my shelves. So number 1 is, guess what? Start with a clean slate. You know that we do that. That's numero uno. Number 1, start with a clean slate. You never want to start decorating with something that is not clean. So start with a clean slate. And then number 2, vary on height, shape, and texture. So that means you mix tall and short. Maybe you have like a tall vase next to a small bowl or, glass and baskets, so that's your height and your texture. And then also shapes, maybe something rectangular and something round, so that's what they mean when they say mixed or vary with height, shape, and texture. Number 3, use the rule of thirds or odds to create a symmetrical but balanced arrangement. So I would say I'm very much a person who likes symmetry. So like you'll see most of the time I'll do one thing in the middle and then another thing on the outside. Normally that's kind of the symmetry. Like, at the top I have a picture in the middle and then I kind of have the 2 arches and the greenery and the candle holder on the side. So that's the symmetry. I have one thing in the middle, 2 things that are alike on the sides. That is actually my go-to method of styling. So moving on, number 4, layer items. Don't be afraid to overlap. So a good example of that would be in the middle of the shelf where you see the together sign and the petals. That is layering and overlapping. So I do like to do that as well. And number 5, balance weight visually across. So that means just don't have like heavy items all to one side, all at the top. Balance it out, like when they say heavy or like large items all on one side or all at the top or all at the bottom. So to just balance the weight out visually. And you'll see that just by like standing back. I love to stand back and just take an overall look at things and just see, am I liking the way that it looks or does it feel off? Okay, guys, so moving on to number 6, add greenery or florals for softness. I absolutely love to do this. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm adding some greenery to these beautiful blue and gold vases. That greenery is actually made to hang on the wall, but I decided just to place it inside of these vases for right now. Those came from HomeSense. And then the florals at the top, the greenery at the top rather, came from Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love to add florals and picks. I think it's one of the ways to just really jazz up your styling of shelves and make everything just come together. Okay guys, so before we get into these last 3 designer tips, I'm going to show you really quickly how I made something personalized to go on these shelves. I needed something for my picture frames and I didn't have any pictures, so I decided to make something using this little baby's breath from last week's project and this white arrangement that I stole from somewhere else in the house. And then I used some dried fruit from my potpourri, and then also the blue cheesecloth napkins. I had some left over from last week, so I just cut a little bit of that to make this simple little arrangement in the picture frame. So what I'm showing you now, I am basically just taking those items and then cutting them to make them flat on the picture frame, and then putting the cheesecloth over it as the backdrop and putting the frame back on. Now, you can, cut everything off the back of the frame, make it look all nice and pretty and clean it up nice. But really there's no need to do that because it's not permanent. And plus the backs of my picture frames are on a shelf, so nobody was going to see that. But of course, if yours is going to be showing from both sides, and you want to clean that up. So guys, I really like this. I think it came out really cute, and I will probably do it again. Let me know what you think. Okay guys, so here's just another little final look at how they both came out. I absolutely love these picture frames, and I think this little arrangement came out so cute. I will actually do this again for sure. Okay guys, so back to those designer tips. So we are on number 7. Don't be afraid to incorporate books. So I actually did not use any books on this particular styling of the shelves. I did use that decorative box there that I just showed, but I did not use any books this time on the shelves, that I did use them elsewhere. So I had some faux books that I actually used on my entryway table. Then you'll see some on my console table. So I absolutely enjoy incorporating books. So a lot of people like to do that, whether it's, designer books or, antique books. They're a great way to style your bookshelves or any shelves. And then they also, allow you to be able to use more heights as well. And number 8 is use decorative boxes or baskets, which I love to do that. Actually, I just use a decorative box at the bottom of the shelf, and you will get a closer look at that later. Number 9, add one conversation piece. So that could be like something personal, like a beautiful piece of art, something that you purchased, or maybe you painted yourself, or like the picture frames that I just did. I made that myself and already had someone ask me, hey, where'd you get that? So that would be an example of something personal, something interesting that sparks a conversation. Okay guys, so designer tip number 10, the last tip, stick to a color palette. And Lord knows we have definitely done that with tying in all this blue, whether it's a dark shade of blue or that dusty blue. We have definitely stuck with a color palette. Yes, we did incorporate some creams in there as well, and gold, because we know gold is always going to be in the mix, but we did stick to a color palette. I hope that you found these tips helpful, and we're going to go ahead and style the table. Then I will give you a little mini tour and an up close look at the shelves and how everything came out in this area. Keep watching. And guys, I decided to keep this tablescape really simple. We actually do eat at this table almost every night. So I'm just putting just a really simple tablescape together with stuff that I already had. These are some plastic rhinestone chargers, and those are real china plates. But like I said, just keeping it really simple here because we do eat at this table every night. Okay guys, so here is the final tour of this area the next day with the daylight. Everything always looks better when the sun is shining bright and you have that beautiful natural daylight. I absolutely love how everything came out here. I think the shells really came out really pretty. I think that I did use most of those designer tips that we discussed, and I'm just loving how everything came out, how all the blue is incorporated throughout the whole design. Everything is cohesive. Guys, I really, really love the way that this came out. Let me know what you think. Okay guys, so now we're in the final area. This is my sofa table. I always start with styling this area and then I move into the living area. So as you see me twirling around with this beautiful cheesecloth runner, I'm going to use that to kind of incorporate the blue, tie it all in. I'll also use the same runner on the large dining room table in the front entryway, and then I used it on the small dining area that we just styled. And so I'm going to use it here. And this beautiful candle holder, I've had that for years. That was thrifted too. So guys, I don't know if you like to thrift, but I'm a thrift girl. I love to thrift. I love antiques. I do not discriminate on where I find beautiful decor. I like to find inspiration from all places. Those glass jars came from Hobby Lobby. Those were on sale for a really good price, so I picked those up. And the faux books also came from Hobby Lobby, also on sale. The roses that I'm styling with here, guys, those came from Amazon. We used those in part 1 of the summer reset in the kitchen, so that was a really good deal. It was about 50 roses in that order, so I had some left over to use here as well. And these pictures, I actually had those for a while just in my attic. I think I picked those up from Ross. They were really inexpensive. I just couldn't find the perfect place for those. But when I started pulling out all my decor and deciding to use the blue for the summer, I knew that those will look perfect using those here. So I really am liking the way that it turned out. And then these little vases came from the at-home store that is new this year. So the stuff from Hobby Lobby and the at-home store, I picked those up new. And now these little lanterns, I've had those for years. That's also another thrift find. Guys, I love me some thrifts. Okay guys, so I'm going to be making another floral arrangement using those roses that we just discussed, the blue baby's breath, and some greenery to tie everything in together and keep it all cohesive. And then I'm going to move on and finish styling up the living area, and then I will give you a walkthrough of what everything looks like when I finish of all the spaces that we did today, and then there will be a final tour at the end with all the spaces. So please stay tuned. Okay, guys, so here in the living area, I wasn't trying to do a whole lot in here, just bringing in a few hints of that blue, and so that's what I'm doing with this arrangement. You guys know I love this arrangement. I've had this up since spring. I got these beautiful white and pink stems from Pottery Barn on a great deal, and I said I was going to leave them up for a while, and I meant that. So what I decided to do was just incorporate some of that blue, some of those blue stems in with the Pottery Barn stems, and I really think it came out quite lovely. Let me know what you think. So here's a final look at this room and how everything turned out, guys. I am so pleased with how it turned out. I really loved how all the blue in each space just tied in together and made everything cohesive and look really intentional with the design. And I am just loving the space. I've enjoyed summer in this house and decorating, but I am really excited for fall. I don't know if you guys are thinking about fall yet. We still have some summer left, but I am already planning for fall, guys. So if you have enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel and stay tuned for fall inspiration and fall decor and a lot of other fun things I have coming up on my channel, guys. And then stay tuned for a final tour of everything. Okay, my beautiful darlings, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy decorating. Take care. See you on the next one.